You're watching the PlantX vodcast. Join us as we explore the inner workings of all things plant-based and all things PlantX, from the products and lifestyles to the people behind them. Now welcome our host, the man who combined his love of e-commerce and the plant-based lifestyle to create PlantX, Sean Dollinger.
Hey everyone, welcome to the PlantX vodcast. Thank you very much for taking time out of your afternoon, evening, night, wherever you might be in the world to come join us to learn a little bit more about what PlantX is all about. Thank you very much to our investors and shareholders and customers. Obviously, we wouldn't be where we are today without your support and spreading the word of PlantX. I know you take the time out each week to join us and meet our partners. Today we have Rosalind on the show from Snackrilege Food, which we just introduced in our stores in the US. Amazing sandwiches, staff absolutely loves them, huge following. And I just had the chance to spend about 30 minutes going over things with Roz, and it was wonderful to get to meet her. And I'm really excited for her to come on the show today. As you guys know, and normally I start the vodcast off by saying what episode it is, what season it is, and Christian, who takes care of all of our YouTube channel and videos that you see there, which I think he's done an incredible job with, said, hey, what's the point of even pointing out what season we're in or what episode we're in? It's not like we go in an order here. Every vodcast has something special. So Christian, great point. And that's what we do here. We really listen. So to anybody who's watching live today, please send feedback. It means so much to us. We take time to share each week to keep you in tune on what PlantX is all about and what we're up to. So for any new viewers, PlantX is essentially your one-stop shop for everything plant-based. So if you're looking for meal delivery, plant-based products, groceries, plant-based products for your pets, plant-based cosmetics, anything you could think of with over 10,000 products, we're that one-stop shop. And not only do we believe in just the food portion or the food side of it, but how you surround yourself, how you carry yourself through life. That's where our plants and our fitness vertical come into the whole environment. And with launching X Fitness not too long ago, already see people coming to the platform, enjoying those classes, and then obviously after that, exploring the platform. And before we bring Roz onto the show today, I'm really excited about this aspect, and I want you to understand and digest this for a second. Today on our management call, which we hold every single morning, we had our lead developer, essentially our CTO, Athar, come on. And he started explaining to us about this app that he's created that'll launch on Friday. So I'm really excited for you guys to go to our plantx.com store to check this out, where essentially it starts asking you where you're shopping from and then creates a whole experience around that zip code or the city that you choose. And we're able to fill these products from the warehouses closer or closest to yourself or to you. And when you start thinking about that, I originally thought that it'd be so easy to be done, but then you got to start dealing with inventory and, what's the closest point to certain states or cities? And it starts becoming extremely complex. And Shopify, who's one of the most valuable companies in the world, when you look through all the different apps they have, they actually don't have anything like this. And that's where we refer to PlantX as really a technology company at the end of the day. So we basically developed this app from scratch that not only can we use for our store, but we could then go ahead and add it to the Shopify stores and offer it as an app to other Shopify users. So, this is one of many of the different platforms, technologies we've been working on, and I can't wait for it to roll out this Friday. It really brings PlantX to a whole new level. Multi-billion-dollar companies don't even have this type of technology. So again, just wanted to share that with you because I've been thinking about it all day, and I've been so proud of the team and wanted to share that with you. On that note, Roz, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. And that sounds really exciting. I can't wait to check that out on Friday. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. And it was great speaking with you earlier. Love what you've created. Love the energy. But before we jump into it, can you share with our viewers, how do you take your coffee?
I think that's a great question to start out with because we all like a little bit of coffee sometimes, although honestly, I'm a bit more of a chai drinker, but especially when I need a little extra kick, I add a scoop of protein powder into my coffee in the morning. I'll have maybe half a cup. I have a lot of natural energy, so I don't really need a lot of coffee, but protein powder like Garden of Life or Vega or something like that, and it helps kind of jumpstart the day and make my workout a little better. So
awesome. What I love about that question, it's amazing. Every time I think after, probably 50, 60 episodes, you would think that some people would have overlap, but everybody seems to take their coffee different in the morning.
It's funny, huh? That's how Starbucks got so big, having a million different options. So I feel like let's get into the vegan space and get the vegan coffees just as big. So it's great.
Great. Awesome. And Snackrilege one, love the name. Love all of that. Maybe you could share with everybody what got you started on creating this company.
Yeah, honestly, after college, I was working at a job that I wasn't necessarily satisfied with, and I wanted to do something that was truly my passion. And I've been vegetarian since I was 11 years old and vegan on and off since high school. I, was kind of weak and would go back and forth between veganism and vegetarianism. So I decided one day walking to my car after work, I said, you know what? I know how to make sandwiches. I know how to make good sandwiches. And I personally think sandwiches are the best food ever. And let's start a company. And my husband suggested the name Snackrilege. And I started doing test menus and test groups and feeding my friends, having dinner parties, and people, even the non-vegans were just kind of blown away with how good they were. And my sister taught me how to make seitan. I honestly didn't know before this started. So we perfected the menu, obviously, along the way. And I started making cold calls, filed for a business license, and I had no idea what I was doing. None. I just knew that I wanted to help people eat tasty foods. I've been involved in a lot of animal rights causes over the years, but my true passion is having fun and helping other people have fun. And obviously a big component of a lot of fun is food and good food. And so I thought that was something that I could really bring to the table. And there's not a lot of grab and go options out there, or at least there wasn't when we started almost a decade ago. So that's what our mission is: help animals, help people, help the planet, and have fun doing it, all while eating delicious sandwiches. So that's what we do.
Love your passion. And Michael, who you've been working really closely with on our team, who onboarded the product and exploring all these different opportunities with the company. He said such amazing things about you. And I felt it in the first few minutes, the passion that you have. And I truly believe that's what makes a company successful. At the end of the day, if someone doesn't like what they're doing, I always encourage them, hey, there's so many other opportunities in life, go explore them. But just feeling the passion and seeing the connection that you have with your fans and people who love the sandwiches. And Alex always said it, when we were rebranding our menu over in our Venice store, she said, we gotta create great sandwiches. There's a connection, it brings happiness to people. And you kind of voiced it here in the first few minutes.
I completely agree with Alex. I loved the Venice store. It was a pleasure to be down there and get to meet up with some of your team. And I completely agree. There's just nothing better than a sandwich. And if you don't, obviously we all have our days. There's some days that you just don't want to go to work, period, or that you're struggling. But for overall, if you love what you do and you feel like what you're doing is making a true difference, that can carry you to the ends of the earth if need be. And if you don't like it, like I couldn't imagine running like Roz's tire shop or something like that. I just can't, but if that's what you love, I have friends that I went to business school with that run companies that to me don't seem that like trucking companies or whatever. Good for them. They love it. So whatever you're doing, as long as it's something you love, you're going to be okay.
100% agree. 100% agree on that. And, sandwiches, there's this connection, I believe, as well, where you don't need to educate people. That's one of the biggest things. That's what I preach at the end of the day with like Beyond Meats, the Impossible Meats. obviously everybody's going to have debates out there, especially when something new is entering the market. Pea protein, I look at pea protein. What's the problem with pea protein? But everybody's going to have their own opinions at the end of the day. But the reason I thought it caught on so well, you're not re-educating a consumer on what it should taste like. So here in the vegan space, I think your product is a great introduction where you're like, hey, come try a sandwich. And people know what it's supposed to taste like. And they're like, wow, this has unique flavors. This is great. And I believe in, is it pronounced seitan or seitan?
Seitan.
Seitan. Yeah.
Seitan,
so
yeah.
I'm actually a lover of it because it normally takes on, and more than I do 100%, but it normally tastes whatever you're kind of marinating it with or whatever taste it's taking on. So I think it's a really unique product and I love it.
Thanks. It definitely is. It is still pretty unique. There are all these great new products coming out. I mean, I buy other types of imitation meat all the time, but seitan is kind of the OG, like Seventh-day Adventist. I don't want to say hippie, but that kind of, it's been around for a long time. I actually did some research, but I don't remember the kind of emergence of it. But it's been around for decades, but it's hitting the mainstream, but it still isn't. It still isn't as popular because it's a really I'm not to say popular, but it still isn't as widely produced because it's really labor intensive, which is also part of what I like about it because it makes a unique product. It's a real labor of love, and you can really tinker around with the flavors more that way, and you have a really authentic artisanal product, and that's something I'm really proud of. My husband actually makes most of the seitan by hand, and one of our employees, and so they do a really good job. It's a lot of work, but I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, I personally love the texture of the product and everything. So, great job on identifying that. And I believe your last name has an interesting story behind it, or maybe you could share a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So my husband and I, when we got married, shortly before starting Snackrilege, didn't want to just go with the traditional way of I'm going to take his name, or we're going to hyphenate, or just keep our own names. We wanted to symbolize something that was a representation of us as a couple and us being together, but we didn't want to go the traditional route, as you might be able to tell from my whole branding and background and all that. So we decided to make a portmanteau, which is a combination, basically squishing two words together. And so we went with, he was McCartney and I was Ballard, and so we made up McCallard. And here we are. So it sounds like a real name, and I mean it is because we made it into one. But if you look it up, we are the only two people named McCallard in the whole world. So,
no way. That's an awesome story.
Thanks. Better than Ballartney. It was either Ballartney or McCallard, and like Clayton said, he's like, Ballartney sounds like an off. What's the stone? The Barney stone.
Yeah, sounds like
yeah. So that's why we went with McCallard, which he also says sounds like an NA beer, but I'm okay with that.
Love the story behind it, and I'm surprised more people don't do it because it definitely makes sense. It's awesome,
right? I mean, it's 2022, man. Let's do this. Let's be different.
Awesome. And obviously starting a new brand, I know the challenges out there. One thing for us, we're a platform, and starting to do PR, that's what we focused a lot in the first year and a half on. It's hard to educate people on what a platform really truly is on the PR side of things. But we also own a company called Little West, which is this amazing juice company. And to bring awareness around it, because it's a single product, we saw a lot more traction. But when you start, there's so much work that obviously goes into creating a brand, the reputation you're building. Maybe you could speak about some obstacles that you faced while your journey is taking place.
Absolutely. And I'm really excited to try the Little West juices. They look fantastic. Michael's been telling me about them, and I'm ready to fly down to Venice and get some juice. But yeah, there's been a lot of obstacles along the way, and I've been very fortunate in terms of I didn't know enough about what I was doing to realize that obstacles were happening. I just kind of plugged away until things started to come to fruition, and I feel like a decade later that they're going the direction I always wanted them to be, which I feel very grateful for. One of our biggest mistakes was starting a food cart, which was an entirely separate business. We thought that when we first started out, a lot of our customers were the schools, colleges in the area and whatnot, little stores around the colleges, and they were all dropping off for the summer. So we were concerned about keeping our staff in business, keeping our business in business. And so we thought, well, let's just start a food cart, which was a completely different different business model. We didn't have the time or the staff. I hated doing it. There was everything that could have gone wrong the first day of that food cart, including, but not limited to, the water breaking, the stove catching on fire, the table electrocuting people, everybody in town showing up and not being able to get food. It was awful. And so really, I've seen this with a lot of small businesses. They try to open a second location, or they try to do something that's not maybe conducive to their mission because everybody says it should be. I always recommend people stay true to what you really want to do, rather than just kind of, throwing it against the wall and seeing what sticks. If you want to do that, great. But as long as it's not at the detriment of your initial core mission business. And so the food cart, I would say, was our number one mistake. Along the way, obviously, we've had our branding. Not everybody is on board with all the pentagrams and the word Snackrilege and all of that kind of thing. And, so we've had, there we go. The horns up for veganism, which is actually a registered trademark, by the way. Thank you. We got that trademarked. Although feel free to use it. We're not going to come after you. So that's, we've had some people kind of complain about the branding over the years a little bit, but overall, people have been pretty positive. I think the main thing was when I didn't listen to my gut and tried to sort of be everything for everyone. That was one of the, has caused more obstacles in terms of causing more work and more headache and financial hardship and not providing a product that I'm proud of. That was the main thing with the food cart as well. So, yeah.
Definitely see that you're speaking from experience, and I think you're giving great words of wisdom. Those are the same pieces of advice that I give people. Start and believe in what you're doing. Remember why you got started on this venture. Try not to go too far out from it, and stick with it. And eventually, if you try hard enough and work hard enough, you'll succeed.
Yeah, it sounds cliched, but it absolutely, that's the absolute truth. That if something that you truly believe in, I worked, I think for the first, 6 years, I worked at least in one other job. I didn't have a huge business background. I did end up going to business school through a scholarship at Babson College. Was selected to go and take this really wonderful experiment, or not experiment, but program. And so I've learned more as I go along, but you could figure it out as long as you know in your heart what you're doing is what you should be doing. And there's nothing that means more to me than helping people become vegan. I mean, honestly, I get chills to this day, and I've been talking about it now for 30 plus years. I'm dating myself, so I wasn't going to mention that, but it's been a while. And so veganism, vegetarianism, it's just, I really feel like it's the way that we're going to save this planet. And it's really what you as an individual, there's so much that's out of your control, that's out of your wheelhouse, that you can't really do much about in this world. But you can stop eating animals, especially if you're lucky enough to live in a place like Vancouver or Portland, or now you don't even need to live there because you have great platforms like PlantX that will ship you right to your door. You don't even need to leave the house. It's not like back when I first went vegetarian, I had to go to the little co-op, the hippie co-op, and hunt down some tofu, and I had no idea what to do with it, So yeah, there's, I don't know, I kind of got off on a tangent, which I do every time I talk about veganism, but stick to the nose to the grindstone. Good things will happen despite the obstacles.
Thanks for the plug, Roz, on the platform. Appreciate it. And two things before I continue here that I connected with what you just said. Learning. You said just now that you've been at this for 30 years or so, 30 plus years, and still being able to learn. And I've been in e-com for 20 plus years, and I say it to the team all the time, I definitely don't know it all. And I always try to learn and experience and for people to teach me. So I think that's really interesting. And at PlantX, one thing that I don't think that we speak enough about on these shows or our messaging is we really want to be open to everyone. I've been plant-based for 10 plus years now, but it's been a journey where people sometimes challenge. What do you mean you didn't eat chicken? You didn't eat this, you didn't eat that. But what's the difference? It's my journey. And if I'm considering myself plant-based, it's my life. And that's what I consider myself. And that's why we're so accepting. Like if somebody, wasn't plant-based for lunch today, come give plant-based living a try tonight. And we're like you, where at the end of the day, if some people call, because I know it's changed my life completely. So if we could do that just to one other person in this world from where I went before to where I am now, if I could just do that for one person, I would consider PlantX a massive success.
See, that is absolutely why I'm so happy to be partnering with you guys, because it's that spirit of innovation and passion, and just how amenable you were to even at the drop of a hat changing the format for numbering the podcast. That really shows that the willingness to keep learning and growing and exploring. I think that's great, and you're absolutely right. If somebody just gives one Snackrilege sandwich a try, and there's no better feeling than the number of times I've gotten over the years where people have said, you know what, I didn't think I could go vegan, but I tried one of your sandwiches and now I can't. I mean, every time I start crying, I'm like, this is why we do it, because I just to put that out there and let people know. And when we get that feedback, it's just the best feeling in the world. And so that's it. It really keeps you going, even on the days that you don't pick yourself up. You don't. Again, there's always any job, any time in your life, sometimes you just want to just give up, and that kind of feedback is what just lights a fire and keeps it going. So that's great that's again why I'm so part of the reason why I'm so excited to be partnering with you guys.
Thanks, and I love that you shared that with our investors and shareholders who are listening in, because I totally forgot. I'm so in the moment when we're doing these things, but you were there for that conversation with Christian about all the episode and season, and right away, and the team knows that I'll debate these things, but it made a lot of sense, and that's the way. Yeah. We always believe in being agile at PlantX, and that's how we've been able to grow from practically nothing 18 months ago to a company doing over 20 million in revenue, retail stores in 3 countries around the world, and this unbelievable team. So thanks for bringing that up. And as you know, Ross, this show is live, so we really love to hear from our investors and shareholders and live viewers on any questions they have for you, anything they have for us, anything we could do better here at PlantX. So please feel free to write in. We've already had a whole bunch of people. I have a couple more questions for you, and then we'll jump into that. Snackrilege was nice enough to go ahead and partner with us on the giveaway this week. So for anybody in the US, we'll be able to go ahead and ship out immediately from one of our distribution centers or stores. And August 6th, in Toronto, the Vegan Dale concert, which Roz was telling us all about, the festival over there, said that it's one of the best that she goes to each year. Maybe you want to share a little bit about that, but we'll go ahead and ship out some products at that point.
Yeah, it's really fun. If you want me to share a little bit about that, I would love to, because I love going to the Vegan Dale festivals. This year, we're actually, we personally are not going to be there, but we're going to be at a Black Metal Fest in Norway. It's going to be awesome. But we're going to have an amazing team. They've worked with us for the last 5 years. Alfred, Hardcore Vegan, he is going to be running the show, and they have I want to say 150 vendors, some from the US, a lot of different vendors from Canada. They have a variety of food, obviously, beauty products, clothing. If you're not familiar with Vegan Dale, they have a whole section of Toronto that's called Vegan Dale, with clothing shops and doomies and various restaurants, and it's fantastic. It's one day only. It's at Fort Myers Park, right. You can see the Canadian Tower right there in the background. Beautiful setting. And I've told this joke already once today, but I'm going again. Nice. It's not even a joke. The nicest place in the world you're going to be is a Canadian Vegan Festival. Everybody is fantastic. The music's great. The food is great. I highly recommend Sausage Party Toronto. They're actually going to be the ones storing our food for us, and then putting everything together, helping the team a little bit. So I highly recommend checking them out if you're there. Got to give them a little plug because they're helping us out quite a bit. And just a really good variety of people. And I had started talking about you guys, and they had great things to say. My team did last year about PlantX. They said, "Oh, those guys, we love PlantX." So that was a good endorsement, because we had just started working together, and so they said some really good things about you. So I was happy to hear that.
Awesome. That's what I love about the whole plant-based space. It's like everybody knows one another, and we're all willing to help each other out to get to that next level with the same, the majority of people, I should say. at least in the industry, or at least from our experience so far. So it's been fun, and we'll definitely go check out the festival, because we've been to one down in Miami, and it was unbelievable to see this movement and the interest out there in plant-based living. It's really, really exciting. And, you know, on that note, leads me to my next question. How have you seen the plant-based space evolve over the last 10 years?
Oh my gosh. It's incredible to watch not only the number of products that have come out, and I think it's synergistic. You know, I'd want to say chicken or egg, but that's not a very vegan expression, or maybe it is if we're taking care of the chicken and not eating the eggs. But it's really synergistic. The number of products that have come to market is just astounding. The quality of products that are out there now. Not that, you know, I don't love the old school Loma Linda, I do, but the quality of products has really increased, and the fact that you can go to anywhere in the country and find, you know, a vegan menu or a vegan option. My husband's from a town called Summers, Montana, that has one post office, one hardware store, and one bar and one cafe, and like 40 people, and they have a vegan option on the menu. So to see that come to fruition is really exciting, and to see how people don't, you know, they don't say vegan anymore, and they don't look at you like you're crazy if you say I'm vegan. It's really exciting to see that. And so it's sort of coming up together, you know, the market's driving demand, and the you know, the consumer is driving demand, and then people have the option now of all these great products. It's a relief, and I'm really glad I'm here to see it, because honestly, when I first went vegan in 1993, I had like my little soy nut oisine, and I would make my own nutritional yeast cheese and, you know, dump it on a bunch of bagels, and that would be it. So eat my apple and call it good. Of course, I was in high school. So, yeah, I think it's really exciting to see that. And the number of, you know, being able to get products from PlantX delivered to your door and have it be all over the world. And that's just mind boggling and amazing that you could just click, click, click. And then all of a sudden these great products show up a couple days later looking fresh and amazing. I just think it's fantastic. So Thanks. Very exciting.
That's really what we're after. At the end of the day is creating 100,000 products. If one day there's 100,000 products out there, give people choice, opportunity, easy, no matter where they are in the world, a few clicks of the button, they get these products. And that's one thing that's been so interesting to me. And I agree with everything that you said, and how the space has moved with the opportunity and the variety of products. What I find so intriguing, and I've been in so many interesting businesses, but this one, no matter who you bring up the word plant-based with, whether it's my 6-7-year-old daughter and her friends all the way up to 90-year-olds, it's their, you know, connection to food and sharing a story about, even if they haven't tried going plant-based, how they went for dinner and they can't believe that their friend was plant-based, and sharing all these stories, this passion around what we're all involved in is so rewarding and so exciting. And I really am thankful that we're part of this space, and the leader that we are, to be able to bring these products and products like yours into front center for people to enjoy and try, because if they enjoy and try it, they're going to keep wanting more. So Thank you, Roz, for everything that you guys are going.
Thank you. Yes, I get so excited talking about this. I can hardly contain myself. But yes, it's thank you for everything you're doing. I mean, we're all working together to just bring veganism and bring plant-based to the forefront. And I'm really honored and amazed to get to work with so many amazing people. And you and your team have just been fantastic, by the way. I can't shout out to the whole PlantX team, because you guys are awesome. Everyone I've worked with has been fantastic. And I can't thank you enough. Highly recommend to everyone. And I could go on for hours. So I'm going to try to shut up right now and let you get to the next question. Otherwise, 4 hours later, I'm still going to be rambling about how great veganism is, and everyone will have left. It'll just be me talking to my computer. All right.
Well, we'll go ahead. A whole bunch of questions came in here, you know, and see what you have to say. What is your favorite snack? And does the company use soy? This is from Michael. Thanks, Michael.
Yes, company does use soy. And favorite snack. Oh boy, that's a hard one. I mean, obviously my favorite food is still the sandwich. I really like, if I'm going to have like a healthy snack, I like Obviously, like carrots. I like making my own cashew dips quite a bit. I do my own cashew cheeses and dips, and sometimes we'll do that for caterings. I work with actually a non-vegan company here in Portland that does charcuterie boards, and then occasionally she'll get like a vegan order, and so I'll make the cheeses and meats for that for her. I really like dried. I don't know what happened to dried kale, but I love dried cauliflower. Cauliflower got quite the glow up, and I'm pretty impressed with. They came from just nothing, and now it's everywhere. I like. I'm just still gonna say the sandwiches. Sandwiches, just cut a piece of sandwich up and get that and go, and it's still my favorite. Even though I'm trying not to eat as much wheat, but failing miserably. And yes, we use soy in our products. Not a lot. We use soy sauce in the broth for our seitan. But then that's for what the meats that we make. So there is a trace amounts of soy in our meats, but we use a lot of like a follow your heart as a base for a lot of our dressings, and that's soy based. Although if somebody did specifically request soy free, we could do that because they do have a soy free. But there is trace amounts in all our seitan, and we have a couple recipes with tofu as well.
Good to know. And a couple of my favorites are like Mary's crackers with a whole bunch of the different cheeses out now. I love snacking on that sometimes mid-afternoon. And then like those Vietnamese fresh salad rolls, that they do with the rice paper and put in, and sometimes a vegan peanut sauce on that is awesome.
So good. Oh man, now you're making me hungry. That's it. We're going to Thai food after this, or Vietnamese food.
Both are great. You're right. Thai food does great ones as well. Christian, what's the most popular vegan sandwich and the most unpopular sandwich?
Are you talking about in general? Because I don't know if I'm qualified to answer that one.
I believe.
That makes way more sense. Our most popular is probably the Witchfinder General, which if you have not seen the movie or heard the band, definitely look up both. That's what that's named after. It's just a really classic turkey and cheese. And I think that one's probably most popular because what you were saying earlier, Sean, of getting people acquainted with something that they're already familiar with really ties into the turkey and cheese. It has chow cheese tofurkey. We actually don't make a whole lot with this one. Dill mayo, which we do produce. We use the Follow Your Heart as a base, and then we add a bunch of seasoning. And then rustic rye bread, tomato, lettuce. It's really classic and simple, and I would say that's probably our most popular. Or the Steak by Love, which is our take on the Philly cheesesteak. It's heaped with our seitan, red peppers and onions, our own house-made oat cheese that we've been making for almost a decade now. Before oat cheese became a thing. Thank you. It's really delicious. And that one I would say is kind of tied up there. And that's one that's available for shipping because that one, believe it or not, people don't always think of sandwiches being able to freeze, but we can freeze that one and ship it anywhere in the country. And then it's fine. I was stunned when one of our customers told me that they'd been doing that and freezing the sandwiches and then warming them up. And it was great. So I was really excited about that. It's a whole new realm of possibilities.
Sounds tasty and amazing, and can't wait to get them all out across the country. And 3 more questions, and then we will wrap it up. Christian, what's so he has that. And then Michael, do you have any thoughts versus sourdough versus whole wheat or rye bread?
That is a tough question, Michael. Let's see here. That I'm going to say that depends on the mood. They're all delicious. It all depends. It depends on the mood. And for our bakery, the bakery we use in Portland French Bakery has been around since the early to mid 80s, and everything they make, I like. Yeah, they're all good. I can't answer that one.
Awesome. And then from Alex, when are you bringing your sandwiches to Canada?
Funny you should ask, Alex. We were actually discussing that prior to the meeting, and hopefully sooner than later here, if we can continue this great partnership we have with PlantX. They have really the resources, and they have some avenues of opportunity. So check into our Instagram channel, or which is Snackrilege Vegan Foods, or subscribe to PlantX, which I believe is PlantX. I know I follow you guys.
Go PlantX.
Go PlantX. Thank you. Follow us on Instagram, and I'm sure we'll be posting about it, but I'm hoping it's going to be sooner than later because we love our we love our northern neighbors. So
great. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. And then final question, Jay, so cool to see all these woman founders that have been guests on your podcast. Rosalind, what are some of your favorite new vegan brands?
Oh man, there are favorite new vegan brands. That is a tough call. There's a shop here in Portland called Cultured Kindness that's been around a few years, but they just opened up a cheese shop that I really like, and I believe they are actually available. I don't know if they sell in Besties or not, but I should make an introduction because I know they do ship their product and they're great. Favorite new national vegan brands. I like Purple what is it? Purple Carrot. I know they do a meal-based service. And Purple Carrot, when I'm being lazy and just want to grab, they do a really great risotto, microwavable, it's like 400 calories, lots of protein, and really tasty. So I would say that would be my favorite new, go-to grab and go, microwavable, quick on the go dinner. And I'd have to think about the rest of them a little bit.
Yeah, no, awesome. And we've actually went ahead and created a page with all the upcoming vegan brands out there. So we'll go ahead and share that on our Instagram as well, because I think it's really important to spotlight that and all the women entrepreneurs in this plant-based movement. It's so exciting. It's unbelievable. We have, Cassandra that we obviously acquired, Little West, and I think she's done an incredible job there, to Katie Cooper on the Bloombox side of things, and all the podcast guests we get. And I believe on March the 8th is International Women's Day. So, seeing everything coming together, I think it's great. And whatever we could do here at PlantX to help companies get to the next level, that's what we're here for. We're the platform. We love everything that you're doing. Thank you so much for joining us today, taking the time out of your day. Can't wait to meet you in person, and can't wait to see where the relationship goes from here.
Absolutely. Thank you. I noticed that about your podcast that you had lots of women on there, and I was very excited to get to join the ranks of the amazing women you've had on. And so thank you for everything you do. Seems like a trip to Vancouver might be in order, and I can't wait to meet you in person either. Thanks again.
Thanks again, Rosalind. All the best.
All the best. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Cheers.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for joining us today. I know the show went, probably 10 minutes longer than normal, but I just find it so interesting. And as our conversations take place, you could feel free to come watch as long as you want, and we'll be putting together our highlight reels again, especially with the shows going longer and longer. I think it's important that for people who just have a few minutes each day to come and join and explore what PlantX is up to, it's really important that you hear this. Someone like Ross with Snackrilege, with what they've created over there, it's really special. And for them to recognize PlantX as a leader in the space, to get their products out there, for us, our platform will only grow as quickly as these incredible brands that come out in the plant-based space. Because like I said it today, someone takes a bite of one of her sandwiches, whether it's in one of our retail locations or orders it online, and they're blown away by the product, they're going to be coming back for more and more and seeing what other exciting products are coming out. And as PlantX gains consumers' trust, that is truly where the power is in our platform. Until next week, stay curious, stay planted, stay healthy.
Thanks for watching the PlantX Vodcast. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more information, go to investor.plantx.com. See you next time.